الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل فقد فاز المتقون فقد فاز المتقون قال الله تعالى ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا إنا نخاف من ربنا يوما عبوسا قمطريرا. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With his divine support, he let us make one more week to enter one more Friday. The day Allah created Adam alayhi salam and the day the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam told us to do a lot of salat for him. You say a lot, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Get into my heart. I will try to make this a topic for today after the ayah of the captive. We have seen in the media the captives in the prison of the Zionists, how they come out if they do. And we have seen in the media the captives in the hand of the Palestinian people when they come out, and they always do, smiling and laughing and saying Ma Salam. This is Islam. This is a human being living by Islam. This is who they are, and that is the fruit. Very, very powerful tree with the roots deep and firm in the ground, and the fruits reach everywhere until the sky. This is the fruit of Islam. Why I started with this ayah? Because if you want to be attacked, just tell the people the truth. Why I start with this ayah? Because our topic today is someone who died as a captive to give life to someone who was free, but the true life. The one who died, his name is Khutba bin Adi, and he passed life on to Sa'id bin Amir. So they died for us to live. Before Khutba died, he made a dua, and that dua stayed very deep inside his heart forever. What was the dua? We want to take the same dua to Gaza. They are dying every day, and the shuhada are saying that a dua. What is a dua? We don't know. But the dua Khutba went deep into the heart of Sa'id bin Amir until his death. Some people come into our life and touch our heart so deeply that we will never be the same again. And when we say this, right now you can close your eyes and think about someone like that who touched your heart so deeply and completely you have been transformed, sometimes in the negative way and sometimes in the positive way. But Sa'id bin Amir had learned something he never knew before from the death of a true Muslim. And it happened always. From the crowd, we learn lots of lessons. And this morning I saw a crowd in a unique place. I saw the believing people, the faithful, the believers crowded at the gate of this center because the Imam was late as usual. And under the winter, so the gate was open from distance, and this door was closed. And you can see again the crowd of these few people, and I learned a lesson. Truly, with or without you, Islam will go on. With you coming to the masjid or not, the masjid will always be attended by the believers. And if you want the proof, die today and see. Islam will go on. This is the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we learn from that crowd. As long we listen. Last time I said the most dangerous person on earth. Dangerous in a very positive way. Someone who listens, think, and observe. We have to observe and think. And what I thought this morning, on the way to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the crowd is smaller. 1 hour later, on the way to the school, traffic jam everywhere. We can see بَلْ تُؤْثِرُونَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا. We prefer the life of this dunya. On the way to Allah, only a few of us. On the way to work, traffic jam, and everybody by 7:30, everybody on the move. And sometimes we crash into one another, and sometimes even die on our way to dunya. Imagine if we love Allah and Rasulullah, the way we love it that way, what will happen? Gaza will be freed. However, I just wanted to touch about how Islam treats the prisoners. This ayah telling us, وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا. The only way to become a captive in Islam or a prisoner is through war. Muslims will never start a fight. But when you start it, they have to defend themselves because like any existing species. And when you are captive, they are treated just like one of them. The way the ayah said it, the true believers, they feed the miskin, the orphan, and the prisoner. Who is a prisoner? Someone who fought the Muslims but failed and became a captive. He becomes treated just like an orphan. How do we treat an orphan? With the ultimate compassion and love and care and respect. How do you treat the needy and the poor people? With the same method. How do you treat a prisoner of war? With the same method. Why? And we tell them, إِنَّمَا نُطْعِمُكُمْ لِوَجْهِ اللَّهِ. We are treating you that way, feeding you what we eat, dressing you what we dress, for the sake of Allah that you have been fighting. He told us to treat you that is Islam. لَا نُرِيدُ مِنْكُمْ jaza'an wala shukura. And when we are good to you, we are not expecting or wanting from you a reward or even thank you. إِنَّمَا نُطْعِمُكُمْ لِوَجْهِ اللَّهِ. It is only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? إِنَّا نَخَافُ مِنْ رَبِّنَا يَوْمًا عَبُوسًا قَمْطَرِيرًا. We are afraid, not your weapon, not your threatenings, something beyond that. A day when people with their muscly leg will be shivering and shaking. That's why we are good to every human being, including the captive of war. You are not an enemy anymore because you are in a vulnerable situation. So Sa'id bin Amir was one of the young people whose muscle allowed him to go through the crowd with Abu Sufyan, with Safwan bin Umayyah, and the big personality of Quraysh to witness the Shahada of Khutba bin Ali. When the Prophet ﷺ sent 10 Sahaba to discover the situation, and they have been captured and killed. But with Khutba, they did not want to kill him in the 4 months of Hurum. As you know, the 4 months of Hurum, إِنَّ عِدَّةَ الشُّهُورِ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ 12 شهرا في كتاب الله يوم خلق السماوات والأرض منها 4 حرم. رجب، ذو القعدة، ذو الحجة, and Muharram. Even the Jahiliyyah, they respect this month. They don't fight in them. And they don't kill someone in them. This is the Jahiliyyah days. So they kept him until that days are over, but they tortured him in the way you want to be. The slow death. And Sa'id bin Amir was one of the people who witnessed. And he felt so bad, but he learned something new he never knew before. Only Muslims can teach this lesson. What was that? He learned from Khutba bin Adi, life, what we really call life as it were life, is when you live to Aqidah. You believe in something and die for it. If دون رأيك في الحياة مجاهدا إن الحياة عقيدة وجهاد. You can consider yourself alive when you belong to something that is with and you believe in it, and that will be the driving force. Nothing can stop you except death. Sa'id learned that from Khutba. He refused every offer that they offered to him. Even to say a bad word about the Prophet, he refused that. And he said to them, if you don't mind, allow me to pray 2 rakah to end my life with that. And they gave him that chance, and he did. Sa'id remembered all of this. He was watching. This young man was looking, thinking, and observing. And after that, of course, they killed him. And they went back home as usual and forgot it. But Sa'id did not. He could not sleep. Khutba will appear in his dreams for him. And when he opened his eyes, he imagined Khutba and the way he died, and his courage and faith. And whenever he tried to sleep again, the image is there. A man asking to pray 2 rak'ah to end his life with that. That stayed alive in his heart and breathed into his soul, and he became a Muslim. Your decisions can touch many people in this world. And I said that to say something alive. Not last Friday, the Friday before. One lady said to me, Sheikh Adam, when I left the Islamic School of Canberra and worked with the government now, and she said, one lady came to her with with her hijab and say to her, you gave me back my faith. I'm a Muslim woman too. But I was afraid to come to work with the divine uniform that from Allah. But once I saw you, I became brave to do it. Look how many people think about you when they see you not giving up. Because that really learned we can be in the government and be Muslims. Just let them know who you are. We can let the world see our uniform, just like the policemen, proud of their uniform. Even the soccer players, proud with the uniform. The nuns, proud with it. The Buddhist monks, proud with it. How can a Muslim is afraid to appear and be truthful to the world? We cannot believe in Allah and be afraid. Because fear is a sign of lack of faith. And we need to remember, security is not the absence of danger, but the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is always there with us. So this woman moved from place to place to make more da'wah without saying a word. So the way we look like, people are reading us, understanding our life as well. But in Dubai, told Sa'id bin Amir that if you love your God, if you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, you cannot be afraid and change your mind because it is hard. We die for what we believe. But the dua Ubay said against the people of Makkah was, Allahumma ahsihim adada, waqtuluhum badada, wa la tughadir minhum ahada. Oh Allah, take them one by one and kill them all, he said, and don't let any of them escape. Sa'id bin Amir was there and he heard this dua made him escape for the rest of his life, because he said to himself later, I could say something to help, but I didn't. I could do something to help, but I didn't. That made him feel guilty for the rest of his life. But he was dead then. When he became alive with Islam, then he realized that was a mistake. Sometimes just to commit a crime, just remain silent. When the people of failure use violence, and people use violence, who use it? Violence is the last refuge for the incompetent. When people fail by reasoning, by debate and dialogue, they use the violence and mercy, and Allah will step in there. We can see that in the story of Musa alayhi salam, when he was sent to Fir'aun and told them about the Lord of the universe. قال فرعون وما رب العالمين. Fir'aun said, and what is the Lord of the universe? قال رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إن كنتم موقنين. Musa alayhi salam said, He is the Lord of the heaven and the earth and whatever in between. If you are truthful to your heart will tell you that. But sometimes we deny our heart. قال لمن حوله ولا تستمعون. Fir'aun said to everybody. He always tried to win the crowd and use the crowd against the truthful people. He said, can you hear him? Didn't you hear what he said? And Musa said again, قال ربكم ورب آبائكم الأولين. Your Lord and the Lord of your ancestors, your parents before you. قال إن رسولكم الذي أرسل إليكم لمجنون. Fir'aun said to the crowd again, the cowards, they use the crowd to win because they are weak by themselves. And that's why they lie to the crowd and to the masses. To the nation, they lie to them to get support, to go and destroy Afghanistan, destroy Iraq, destroy everywhere, using the foolishness of the crowd who can be bought or sold by money. So fail using the same method to the people, to win the people, win the crowd, and you will win the fight. So he said, Inna Rasulakum alladhi ursila ilaykum lamajnun. Your messenger that has been sent to you is crazy. And Musa said, Qala Rabbul Mashriq wal Maghrib in kuntum ta'qilun. The Lord of the East and the West. If you use your mind, Pharaoh failed. And he said next, قال لئن اتخذت إلها غيري لأجعلنك من المسجونين. If you believe or worship any other God other than me, I will throw you into jail. Musa continued, whatever I bring to you, a clear proof on a party behind Kunta, bring it up if you are truthful. You know the story. Pharaoh was defeated by reason and truth and dialogue. You have two choices now to make. Submit to the truth that you know, or become rebellious and face Allah by himself. And he chose to face Allah by himself, and you know his end. So violence is a final refuge for the incompetent. You don't need to use anger. Especially when you come to Islam. Don't try to make people submit to you. A Muslim will never submit to anybody, only to Allah. We submit through ruku and sujood, and to our parents. We submit to them by being humble, quiet, obedient. Anyone else, look at them in the eyes and talk and tell them, you bring me the truth, I submit to that, but not to you. It is haram to submit to no anyone except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is how a Muslim makes their life. And when from use of violence, Allah stepped in and destroyed him. The same thing, the people of Gaza have prayed. What was the dua? Against the Muslims who betrayed them, we can say yes. Or against the Zionism, we can say yes. But in the end, no one will escape. We just need to answer the question, what did you say to help, or what did you do to help? They're dead, they died to give life to this world. The whole world became alive, and that's why we see Sister Fatima payment in trouble, because as a politician with her hijab, stood up to say yes for Palestinian state. And they don't like that. They try to put her in trouble. We have to stand up as men and humans to support her. Many students at uni in trouble because they study law, and a lawyer has to speak out. Why don't we do something to help? So these people died in Gaza, we let the rest of the world live. So their blood going down to be like water to the seas down there. They will come back in the form of everything, and no one can escape. We just need to make sure to answer. What have you said to help, and what did you do to help? How can we help? 4 days ago you have seen celebration in the streets of Zionism, because Pepsi donated billions of dollars to help. And me and you still support Pepsi and drink Pepsi. And Gaza is starving to death, and me and you celebrating a big party for our birthdays, our weddings, our graduation, and spending thousands. There will be no barakah at all in this money and this celebration. It means we're drinking their blood, because we watch them starve to death. And when we have the money, we want to celebrate. Are we Muslims? To answer this, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use their death to give us a real life. And real life is when we move in accord with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim wa ja'alna wa iyyakum min alladhina yastabiquna al-qawla fayattabi'una ahsana. Aqulu qawli hadha wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum. الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. To summarize, a kafir becomes a Muslim because he has seen a true Muslim choose to die rather than giving up their faith. To summarize, I remember this way, and I will not mention the lady's name, but she was called by the man saying, Fulan, you gave me back my faith. You encouraged me, and from now on also I go to office with my hijab. This is the best uniform ever. How many people change their life because they have seen one of the soldiers of Islam, a female one, and they become alive. This is the easy dawah we can make. Call the people by walking the talk. We don't want to have Islam in the paper, Islam in the voice of the Quran like we do in Ramadan. We ask one another, how many khatam you made? How many ayah you memorized? But we never ask the question, how many ayahs meaning do you understand and know? And how many ayahs did you follow and practice? This is the musibah. And we focus on zakat, and that makes us never study the Quran. And Allah wants us to study. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Why don't you contemplate and think deep about the verses of the Quran? Is there a padlock on your heart? And we recite but never study and be believed to the Quran. And to close with, remember our boys, our girls at the Islamic school, we learn a lot from them. I was telling one of the boys, you see, you are a Muslim student and a non-Muslim teacher, a lady, could not put up with you, and she has to send you to my class while you are holding the Quran. Look at the picture. A Muslim boy or a Muslim girl holding the Quran and misbehaving in a way that the non-Muslim teacher had to seek help from the Muslim teacher. Can you please keep this kid in your classroom? And all I say to the kids, this woman is somebody's mother, somebody's wife. And she came here to win the bread and help you. Imagine if your mom or your father teaching somewhere else, and the kids treat her like that, what will be your feeling? Every woman, somebody's mother, somebody's daughter, somebody's wife, and somebody's sister. And you have something. Treat her just like your mom. Your mom trusted her and sent you to learn from her. But if you read the Quran, memorize, but forget one thing. Bring the adab of Islam to the Quran students. Don't just make them memorize and tell us how many ayahs they know. We have to make sure that they grow up with the adab and the akhlaq of the Quran. Otherwise, we produce gang leaders. Half is Quran, but you won't believe what they do. But it is our fault, the way we teach them. We have to make them go with the Quran till they become the family of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And how can we do that? We have to walk the talk. We should never let any student point finger on us and say, but you teach me Quran and Islam, but I don't see you practice. If they can say that, we should not be teaching them because we put them into the fitna. We have to walk the talk and tell them, dress like me, act like me, and treat others the way. Then we will become real teachers. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أحسن ختامنا وأخرجنا من الدنيا مسلمين. اللهم انتصر للمستضعفين في غزة ورفح فلسطين وفي كل بلاد المسلمين، وعليك بطغاة الظالمين فإنهم لا ينقذونك يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم اشف مرضانا، اللهم اشف مرضانا، اللهم اشف مرضانا، وارحم موتانا برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. واقم الصلاه. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك. كلا بل تكذبون بالدين وإن عليكم لحافظين كراما كاتبين يعلمون ما تفعلون. إن الأبرار لفي نعيم وإن الفجار لفي جحيم يصلونها يوم الدين وما هم عنها بغائبين. وما أدراك ما يوم الدين ثم ما أدراك ما يوم الدين يوم لا تملك نفس لنفس شيئا والأمر يومئذ لله. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
Allahu Akbar. Assalamu